There's a straightforward grading scale in the class of 1,000 points, which you can see on this chart. To demonstrate your learning in the class and to earn points towards your grade, there are 5 basic types of assignments. There's classroom participation, there's homework questions for each unit of reading, there are reading quizzes for each unit, there's hands-on practicing democracy assignments, and a final exam. We're going to go over each of these in turn.
Okay, so let's talk about grading. There are various kinds of assignments. There's a 1,000-point grading scale. You're going to need 934 points to earn an A in the class. Now there are 1,000 points and then some possibilities for other things. Again, 6-week summer class, very fast. Do not fall behind. You'll get in trouble. You really want to pay attention to the rules. Last day to add and drop, I believe, is this coming Sunday, the 6th. After that, you have a grade. You're going to get a grade or a W. And if you don't if I give you an add code and you don't use it by then, I can't do anything about it. You just cannot take the class. I don't have any control over that. Last day to drop the class without a grade or a W is, actually you'll get a W, but the last day to drop the class is the 29th of July. Now you're going to want to double check those things. All right, don't take my word for it. It's your grade. Be responsible for it. Okay, can I have the next one? You're going to turn in work over the course of the quarter, and every single piece of written work that you turn in, you're going to include a photograph of yourself. Don't put a little picture like that. A real photograph of yourself where I can identify you. Oh, that's you. And then you're also going to use the cover sheets that we've attached to different assignments. The class grading policy can again be found on the syllabus. It's one of the drop-down menus, grading and assignments. How do you actually earn a grade? How do you demonstrate your learning? Part of the way you're going to learn here is you're going to read. It's a significant way you're going to learn, especially because this is a distance learning class. And so most of my interaction with you is going to be through the written word. The weekly reading is indicated on the class calendar. You'll find there are 12 units during the school year. They would say week 1, week 2, etc. This is unit 1, 2, etc. You're doing 2 units per week. You've got some mandatory readings that you're going to be doing, and then there's some optional reading if you're bored, you just kind of want to dig in, you're excited, you want to dig in for a little more. For those of you who do not like to read so much, there are audio files for 90% of the articles. Now, they're not the most interesting audio files in the world. It's a computer generated voice, but it's a relatively naturalized one for a computer. But for those of you who have a lot of time, commuting or gardening or doing something that doesn't require a lot of thinking and you can listen, this is a great way to do your class reading. But it's also a little slower than reading for many of you.
If you ever find a link broken on the website, please post it on the class Facebook page, but then also send me an email directly to my email address. You can also reach out to the class teaching assistants, and you can find their information on the class website also. But please do send us an email just as soon as possible so we can get the link fixed. There are really hundreds of links on the website, and sometimes they just go stale.
After you do the reading, you're going to take a weekly reading quiz on Catalyst. The first quiz that you take, you'll have 15 minutes and 3 tries. After that, you'll have 15 minutes and 2 tries. It'll be your best grade. So we're not averaging. But the question bank is far bigger. You're going to have 10 questions, 15 minutes. And the chances of you getting the same question are very small because it's a big question bank. So when you take the reading quiz and you don't do well, it probably means you haven't read. And so you're going to go back and read. Now we're going to give you no other feedback than your score. We're not telling you which ones you got right, which ones you got wrong. etc. In this regard, the quiz is not a learning tool.
Again, you'll be taking a reading quiz for each unit of reading. Week 1 is an exception because you'll just take one reading quiz. But after week 1, you'll be taking 2 reading quizzes each week. Remember, we're covering 2 weeks of material for each week of the summer class. So you're going to take your reading quiz on Catalyst, and both quizzes are due on Sundays at 10 p.m. You're going to be turning in 3 homework questions over the summer term. You're going to turn them in at weeks 2, 4, and week 6, and they're going to be due on Sundays at 10 p.m. What you're going to do is you're going to download the template for the homework question from the unit calendar, the assignment calendar. Then you'll write a short response to the question. Your response will be between 325, 350 words, and the assignment's worth about 50 points each, 150 points total. It'll be 40 points from the basic assignment and then 10 points from your peer review that you'll do on turnitin.com. So you're going to be uploading this assignment to turnitin.com and then doing a peer review. Make sure that you're using the homework question template and that you fill out that template completely, including a photograph and your name, and then include the section itself, or the question itself rather, and then include a list of all the required articles that you used and a word count. All of that's necessary. Then you upload it to the turnitin.com site on Sundays at 10 p.m.
So class participation. We're going to set up groups. You'll be able to then go on to the Catalyst forum, introductory forum. And when you get onto that introductory forum, only people who are in your group will have access to that forum. It'll be 5 or 6 of you. And I'll post a list of who's in what group. Then you can begin to figure out 1 partner or 2 partners. If you end up with an odd number or somebody drops out, you can have a group of 3. If you end up with a group of 4, then split up into pairs. All right? What you're going to do is you're going to then decide where are you going to do your weekly chat.
So once you've chosen a partner, you'll work with that partner over the whole term to do a series of weekly chat dialogues where you'll be interviewing each other with a series of questions related to the class. Each chat dialogue will take about an hour and will be worth 25 points each week.
I'm going to give you a series of questions that I want you to ask each other every week. I'm going to ask you, come up with 2 original questions that weren't the ones that I asked you. And the questions are going to be things like, what was the most interesting reading that you did this week? What did you learn from the Practicing Democracy hands-on learning this week? What did you do well as a student? How could you improve MITA as a student, get yourself more organized? Things like that. You're going to do this dialogue. Make sure that whatever mechanism you use for that dialogue has a time and a date stamp so that I can see how long did it take you to ask and respond to the question.
After you complete your chat dialogue, you're then going to copy the entire dialogue and then paste it into the assignment template for the chat dialogue assignment. You're going to fill out the rest of the template with your name, put in your photo, your partner's name, when you did the chat, etc. Fill out the entire template and then upload the template to turnitin.com. Make sure you copy and paste the dialogue clearly so that I can read it and follow the format directions on the template really carefully. Then each partner in the chat must separately upload the assignment to their own Turnitin account to get a credit for the assignment. And this assignment again is worth 25 points each week. Again, there are some other participation points that you'll get during week 1, setting up your Turnitin account and your class Facebook page, etc. And then again at the end of the term in week 6, there'll be some additional participation points. But your primary participation points will come through these chat dialogues.